welcome to Be Well with Miss Tonia. Today we will discuss reality acceptance. The goal of reality acceptance is to reduce the suffering and increase a sense of freedom through coming to terms with the facts of your life. Reality acceptance skills are skills for accepting your life as it is in the moment. These skills are really useful when you're living a life that is not the life that you want. Acceptance is acknowledging or recognizing the facts, letting go of fighting your reality. Radical acceptance goes a little deeper, is accepting all the way with your mind, your heart, and your body, opening yourself to fully experiencing reality as it is in that one moment. The goal of radical acceptance is to fully accept just the facts. That must be accepted. It is the full experience in the moment that will bring peace and, with repeated practice, contentment with your life. Acknowledge what exists without anger, grudge, bitterness, and without meanness. Reality is what it is. We only have to accept actual facts about the present, the past, and possibilities of our future. For example, accepting that a loved one has died is very hard, but it is necessary if you're going to build a life without that person. If you live long enough, at some point you will have to accept that your hair is even turning gray. Let's look at some limitations. Limitations are like probabilities, and accepting these limitations may be important in setting goals and in avoiding failures that may decrease the quality of our lives. Only highly likely limitations have to be accepted. We can be limited by our genes we are born with, absence of childhood education, poor economic background, social status, country of birth, gender, race, sexual orientation, body shape, height, age, physical illness, and it goes on. For example, if you're born a boy, you cannot do some things that girls can do, like get pregnant. If you have little artistic talent, it is less likely you will be a successful artist. We can be limited by our own past behavior. For example, a person who skipped class a lot in high school, didn't study, and hung out with the gang members is less likely to get accepted at a lot of colleges. A person who left a job to stay home, take care of children, may have more difficulty finding a high-paying job than those who have been working the entire time in the field. Doesn't mean that you can't, it's just more likely that you may have a harder time. We can be limited by known probabilities. For example, we all must accept that we will die. This is certain. Some of us must accept paying taxes is almost certain. You may have a shortened life if you continue to smoke, avoid exercise, and refuse to manage high blood pressure. Those are high probabilities. Refusing to accept that an undesired outcome is almost certainly going to occur if we don't change our behavior is denial of reality and a failure of radical acceptance. For example, you are unlikely to do well on an exam if you refuse to accept that you have to study for it. You are unlikely to keep a job if you refuse to accept that your behavior is hostile at work. Thoughts about the future do not have to be accepted as high probabilities. Fearful and hopelessness thoughts about the future are not facts about the future. For example, no one will ever love me is an extreme thought and is unlikely to be true for most of us. We may have to accept the fact that we have the thought, no one will ever love us, but this existing thought is all that needs to be accepted. Rejecting or denying reality. Rejecting or denying reality does not change reality. Rejecting reality involves avoiding seeing the reality and insisting reality changes. You are denying the facts that are right in front of your eyes. For example, some parents have difficulties accepting that their children have grown up, left for college, or have a job in a new city. This refusal can lead to unrealistic demands, unwanted advice, interference in your children's lives, and it damages the relationship that you're trying to have with your child. Another example is refusal to accept that drinking and driving is dangerous. This can lead to a DUI or an accident that eventually kills someone. Problems that you can see clearly are difficult to solve rejecting reality. It's like a cloud surrounding pain. For example, let's look at some examples. Staying in an abusive relationship for years because you can't accept your partner is unlikely to stop abusing you is likely to lead to more abuse. Refusing to accept that it could rain on your outdoor wedding and not making a contingency plan may lead to a ruined wedding. Accepting reality. Accepting reality can free us from anger, from bitterness, sadness, shame, and other painful emotions. Most of life involves managing painful situations that cannot be solved immediately. For example, you may have experienced the death of someone important to you. For most of us, this is hard to accept at first. You keep thinking, this couldn't have happened. You keep expecting the person to be there. Then eventually you accept it and realize the person really did die. When you accept it, you are still in pain, but you can move ahead with your life. There are 3 types of situations when reality acceptance skills are useful. Life has dealt you major trauma or pain. For example, some of us have to accept not having a loving family, things we have done in the past that we regret, and missed opportunities. You are in distress but not in crisis. Example, you are waiting in unmoving traffic and you're about to be late for an appointment. Problem solving is not working. Example, you plan for a vacation but catch the flu, except you have to stay home instead. Radical acceptance in practice. Number 1, observe that you are questioning reality. Describe in detail what you need to accept without exaggerating or minimizing it. Number 2, remind yourself that the reality is just as it is. Make accepting statements to yourself. Number 3, consider causes of the reality you need to accept. Acceptance is a lot easier once you understand the causes of the situation you are trying to accept. Number 4, practice accepting with the whole self, with your mind, your body, and your spirit. And number 5, practice opposite action. Say out loud in a convincing voice tone, I accept. Number 6, cope ahead with events that seem unacceptable. Difficulties accepting things are often due to fears that the truth will be hard to accept. Rehearse what you would do if you accepted. Number 7, attend to body sensations. Scan your body slowly. Notice places in your body you may feel tense. Number 8, allow disappointment, sadness, or grief to arise within you. Do not suppress it right away. Breathe into the sadness while practicing acceptance. Number 9, acknowledge that life can be worth living. When there is pain, say in your mind, I can handle this. Number 10, do pros and cons. To motivate yourself for acceptance, write down the pros and cons. Review them when resistance to acceptance arises within you. For more information, please check out our website, www.dcsirish.com. Follow us on Instagram, Dublin City Schools Irish, or go to our YouTube channel, Be Well with Miss Tonia. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to be well.